early. I'm currently recording from Brazil, so to the US, that's a 2-hour time difference from Eastern Standard Time. So since it's 10 o'clock my time in the morning, that means in Eastern Time it's 8 o'clock. So thank you for everyone who's joining me super early. And that being said, time differences aside, today what I wanted to talk about for today's live video is I want to talk about a topic that is very relevant for everyone who's living a human experience, which is when things don't go our way, how we feel and how we react. So I've noticed that there's a common misconception, I would say, when it comes to mindfulness, that being a spiritual or being a happy person, or even just being a person who's content or fulfilled, means that there's never anything negative, there's never any tough moments, there's never any experiences of unhappiness. And I just want to point out that that is an incredibly unrealistic expectation, because even when you are someone who's interested in investing in yourself emotionally and in taking time to do things like strengthening your relationships or understanding more about yourself and your emotions, you're still going to be part of a human experience, and there will still be moments that are easier and moments that are harder, moments that are more challenging. So I feel like I want to clarify the concept of working on yourself, or of participating in coaching or anything of a similar area like counseling or personal help, of that, meaning that that means that we will no longer ever experience moments of difficulty or moments of sadness, and that if we have our low points, then that means that we're doing something wrong. So I just want to throw that out because that is completely inaccurate. And there are so many factors in our lifetime and in our experiences throughout the day that are completely outside of our control. So the way that I approach it from my perspective in coaching is, instead of teaching people how to manage all the factors that are outside of their control, what I focus on is what can you control. So what you are in immediate control of being your mind, your emotions, your actions, and your reactions. So I want to debunk the myth that people who work on themselves, or people who are, let's say, mindful, that's a good word to use, never experiencing anger, sadness, disappointment, jealousy, and other emotions, because after all, everyone is human. So I just want to clarify all of that. So now, when things don't go our way in our personal and our romantic lives, what we do have control over, instead of being able to control things like the environment, like the people around us, like our partners, whoever we're dating, the family that we have, or people who we live with, we can't immediately affect or control any of those things, because manipulating those results leans into, again, manipulation. So there are a lot of resources that I've found online, and some things that I even used to look up or used to want to use a couple years back when I was going through some challenges in relationships and I was trying to learn more about all of that. And I found a lot of resources that talk about how to get him to text you back, or how to never be ghosted again, or how to get your ex to go crazy for you, or how to be highly desirable by this category of people or by this type of person. And all of those resources that I found weren't necessarily filling my need, because they, in my opinion, fell a lot closer in the camp of manipulative tactics to get someone to text me, to get someone to like me, to get someone to want to hang out with me or go on a second date with me. And so that's why I'm focusing on this topic today, of what we can and cannot control, and what it means to be okay with things not going our way and how we can bounce back from that. Because my approach, entirely based in compassion coaching, is absolutely not that at all. So I don't touch upon tactics of psychological manipulation, or of psychological, let's say, tips to get people to be interested in you, or to fall in love with you, or to never ghost you again, because that's not really aligned with what my purpose is. And my purpose is helping people find self-love first, and then being able to open to new relationships and new romantic experiences as a consequence of first building a deep internal relationship with themselves. And part of that means understanding that there will be days that are easier and there will be days that are more difficult. So when things don't go our way, we can create certain expectations as to goals we want to achieve, things that we want to see as outcomes in our life, and that helps us work towards what we want to basically be the product of our actions. And that's a big part of motivation. However, like I said, there will be moments that we just have a tough day, or that we need to rest and recharge, that we need to get our emotional energy back because we're feeling either drained or depleted, or for whatever reason we've had a difficult time or a difficult week. And that's perfectly normal and acceptable and actually fantastic, because that means you're being a human 100%. Now, there are certain things that we can do to help that recharge period be faster and to help us bounce back. So what the focus is not on never having a bad day, not on never having a fight with whoever you're dating or with your partner or with your spouse. It's not on being perfect. It's not on waking up every day and saying, wow, I love myself so much, and just beaming with self-love. Because there will be those moments where maybe you try on an outfit and those thoughts come back of, oh, I don't look good in this, I don't like this. There might be a moment where you experience something or say something and there's those thoughts of, wow, that was so stupid, why did I say that? And those are non-self-loving thoughts. So there will be those moments where those thoughts and those patterns come back up with our self-love and also with a partner if we're dating with someone else or if there's an argument or a disagreement. So living this life with this type of lifestyle with mindfulness and with self-respect and self-love doesn't mean that those will go away like that forever. It just means that when those come up and when those old patterns and old thoughts come up, we have the ability to be able to say, okay, I see this happening. I hear those thoughts coming back. I recognize those, and I don't want to dwell on them as much now as I did before. So it's just about recognition, and it's about noticing when that happens, and it's about choosing to say, all right, I see that. I know this is my pattern. I'm able to acknowledge this because I know that I tend to think a lot about these types of things. And so I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to remove myself from the situation, and I'm just going to allow myself to feel whatever I'm feeling right now. So that is a very clear distinction. So being a mindful person, being a respectful person doesn't mean you're never sad, you're never upset, you never have a fight with your significant other, your partner, your spouse. That's completely unrealistic. It does mean, though, that you're able to bounce back more quickly in those moments where you have disagreements, in those moments where you're feeling upset or hurt, because you're able to catch yourself in the moment that you're having an unself-loving thought, or that maybe you're having a negative thought towards your partner. You're able to take a step back and you're able to say, okay, I see where I had this expectation, my expectation wasn't met, and I see that that's causing some tension right now, and I feel really upset and I feel hurt over that. And then you take the time to self-reflect and you take the time to do whatever you need to do. So to recover and to feel happy and whole again, maybe you need to go for a walk, maybe you need to get a cup of tea or coffee. Maybe you need to go to the beach and spend a couple hours at the beach or at a mountain range, or hiking a trail or something like that. So whatever is in your access, whatever is something that's accessible to you that you need to do to recharge, that's when you put in that self-love and the work for that self-love. So this wraps back around to what we talked about in the beginning, which was other resources that are public or that are available that talk about sort of playing this texting game with someone, how to get them to text you back, how to boost your Tinder profile or your Bumble profile to get more likes. And what my approach is it's not about playing any of those games. It's about cutting out all of that nonsense. In my opinion, it's nonsense. It's about cutting out all of that back and forth, and it's about cutting out all of that he said, she said, and it's about coming straight from the source and straight from the root of, how do I respect myself? What's my relationship with myself? How do I take care of myself? What's my self-love like? What does that look like? And how am I portraying that to other people who either will or will not reciprocate those feelings towards me? And so all of this comes back to saying that when things don't go our way, that's perfectly fine. That's normal. That is actually a good sign. That means that we're living life. But it's about that flow and being able to bounce back and have that resilience of saying, I'm not having a good day today. And being honest with the people around us too. And sometimes saying, if you're dating, saying to your partner, like, hey, I'm off today. I don't know, my energy's kind of low. I'm just feeling a little funky, just so you know. So later today when I get home, I would just like to cuddle and watch a movie. Or even with people or with friends saying like, hey, I'm feeling a little off today. I think I just want to be alone this evening, so I'm not going to go out, but tomorrow morning, let's go hang out and do something. So tonight, I'm going to rest and recharge. So it's just about having that awareness, and that's where we start from first. So cutting out all of the back and forth and the mind games that come with a lot of relationship tips and a lot of dating tips, and just addressing straight from how am I feeling today and what am I doing with my energy levels, how am I addressing that, how am I respecting that. So that's my big takeaway for this week. Focus for this week has been on respecting and honoring our own emotions and on knowing when to recharge, when to reset, when to take a step back and take care of ourselves. And I hope that this has been a valuable takeaway. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate it, and continue to reach out to me and let me know if you have any questions about specific topics, if there's anything specific you'd like me to do a live on, or even just send me a message if you want some additional feedback about anything I talked about today. So thank you all so much for engaging with me in this content. It is an honor and a pleasure to do what I do and to be here and show up. And thank you for putting in the time to watch this video, because your time is valuable too. And the fact that you would take 10 minutes out of your day to watch and maybe learn something new is a huge step. And it's a huge self-love tactic where you're taking care of a need and you're seeking out more information. And I respect that and I honor that, and I want to acknowledge that here. So thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of this journey with me. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day and a beautiful weekend, and happy Friday. Thank you, everyone.